What's up, everyone? It's your good friend Eric. It's the Leading Edge Podcast, episode number 57. This is called Ahead of Time. I'm going to tell you in a minute why I'm calling it that. And first, what I'll share is I hope you're doing awesome. We are about a month into 2021, and I hope that the year is off to a really amazing, incredible start for you. I think it's kind of funny that we find out that just because the calendar turned from 2020 to 2021, there's still some challenges showing up in the world. There's still some things that turns out that are out of our control. And we are not surprised to see that, right? And yet we keep going, we keep contributing, we keep committing to be at our best. And the fact that you're engaging with this podcast tells me that you're one of those people. I am having a really, really, really good year. I was talking to someone the other day. They asked me how my year was going, and I said incredible. And they're like, "Yeah, man, I'm not. You always say that. I'm not surprised to hear you say that." And I said, "Well, let me tell you this. I started the year January 1 in Big Sky, Montana, skiing. We drove up there with my family. Had an amazing week." And then we, in the meantime, we've been to Grand Targhee, Wyoming to ski. We also drove there. My kids are, for the most part, back in the school building. My wife is having a challenging yet fulfilling year as she's teaching, and things in my world are really, really good. I'll tell you more about that as we go along. So yeah, life is good. 2021 is treating me really well, and I hope that's true for you. So here's the thing. Here's what we're going to talk about today. I am currently, as we speak, as I'm recording this, I am in the process of becoming certified through Brooke Castillo's coaching program, right? So I'm becoming a certified coach within her program. You've heard me talk about her before. Amazing. Please check out everything that she offers. She has an amazing podcast. She has incredible classes and offerings. So I'm becoming certified within her program. It's pretty much mind-blowing. It's incredible. I'm learning so many great things. It's a 1-year-long program. I'm about 4 months in, and I'm learning how to be masterful at coaching other people and also how to coach myself. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share today one of the biggest takeaways I've had as I've been going through this program. I'm going to put my own spin on it, kind of give you my own thinking about this lesson and my own approach to it, kind of how I've processed it. And also, I'm going to tell you my own personal story as it relates to this lesson that I've learned. And let me start by asking you a couple questions, all right? So let me ask you this. What is something that you want, all right? What is something that you want really, really bad? Is there a goal that you have? Is there an outcome that you want? Is there something that you want to achieve? Is there something this year in 2021 that's really important to you? Have you written it down? Have you identified what your big goal is going to be for this year? I'm guessing you have. I'm guessing something is coming to mind. There's something that you want, some goal that you want to have, something you want to do, something you want to have. Maybe it's a giving goal. You want to give a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time, right? So you have a goal. There is something that you want. I know that about you because, again, you're engaged with this. So you have goals, you have dreams, you have aspirations. Now, the next question, an even better question, a more thought-provoking question is this: why? Why do you want that goal? Why is it that you want to go out and achieve that thing? What is important to you about that goal? As you've heard before, as you've learned before, that why question is really important. You know, it's the old, what's your why? Well, here we are asking the why question. So you're going to have an answer to that, all right? You will have an answer to the why question. If you and I were sitting down one-on-one and I said, okay, tell me about something you want to accomplish this year. You're going to tell me about something cool. Then I'm going to ask you, well, why? Why do you want to do that? What about that is important to you? Tell me all the things on why. You're going to tell me. Now, here's the thing about the why question. When you look at the answer, when you dig into the answer, when you get a good answer, when someone really reflects on the why, usually just about every time, what's behind the why is a feeling. All right, so what we're after is a feeling tied to that goal. All right, so there's no matter what the goal is that you have, I would bet you, what's the saying, dollars to donuts, that you're going to tell me about a feeling that you're expecting that goal to produce for you. Okay, so let's just play this out. Let's say you have a goal that's a have goal. Maybe you want to own a new car or a new truck. All right. And so what about that is important to you? Well, ultimately, we're going to get to a feeling. All right. So you're going to feel about that new car. It's going to make you feel excited. It may make you feel significant. Maybe it's going to make you feel safe. Maybe the car you have now, it doesn't feel as safe. Maybe it's going to make you feel like it's more reliable. Maybe it's let's say you're going to go buy a Tesla. Maybe the reason why is you want to feel important in that. I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I don't mean that in that you're making a difference to the planet. Maybe that's important to you, to feel like you're making a difference, where you're not producing bad emissions, if you view it that way. So that could be one of many reasons why you would want a car, right? So if you want a new car, a new truck, there is a feeling that you're after. Maybe it's a do goal. You want to go do something. So you've heard about one of my do goals is to take my family to Europe. Julie was born in Spain. I want to show my kids Paris just because I think it'd be cool. I want to take my kids to Europe. And so if you were to ask me, well, why, man? Why do you want to do that? What about Europe is important? Well, I think about the feeling. I would feel really excited. I would feel proud. I would feel accomplished. I would just feel thrilled. I would feel like I'm providing an amazing experience for my family, right? Those are all the feelings that I would be after. Again, as I mentioned before, maybe you have a giving goal. So you want to have some kind of giving goal for this year. You want to give a certain amount of money, give a certain amount of time. Why is that? Well, it's going to make you feel a certain way. It may make you feel significant. It may make you feel purposeful. It may make you feel really fulfilled. It may make you feel this amazing joy as you watch other people react to and respond to the giving that you gave to them, like to see them have a better life because of you. That makes you feel some pretty amazing ways, and that's why you do it, all right? And by the way, it's all awesome, right? That's all great. Thumbs up, bravo to you, props to you. It's all good. It's all more than good that you would want to feel those things, and that's what's fueling your desire to do those things. Fantastic. Guess what? That's how motivation works. That's how life works. We do things because it's going to make us feel a certain way. So props to you for uncovering that, for discovering that, for seeing that, for having those feelings. Now, all that being said, here's the thing we must watch out for. Okay, so here's the red flag. Here's when maybe some alarm bells should go off. Here's what we got to be looking for. What we have to be on the lookout for is the word finally. Here's what I mean. If you tell me about a goal, and then I ask you why you want to achieve that, if you're telling me some version of, so I can finally fill in the blank, then we got a problem. All right, I'm going to tell you why that is a problem. And I'm guessing you're already sensing that that's a problem just as you hear me say that. So again, imagine you tell me the reason why you want a goal is so I can finally feel a certain way. All right, that doesn't work. It's not going to work out. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be unfulfilling. You may get there and find out that you're still lacking that feeling that you want. You may never get there because you don't have that feeling in the first place. So let's dive into this a little more. So let's pretend that you have a health goal, something related to your fitness or maybe your weight, or you want to be able to run a 10K or anything health related, health fitness related. So and I ask you why, and you say, well, so I can finally feel healthy. No, that's not good. That's not going to work out. That's not the most efficient, effective, productive way to go achieve that goal. Quite the opposite. What if I were to ask you more about a financial goal? Maybe you have a financial goal, a certain amount of, if you're a realtor, a certain amount of transactions in your business, a certain level of income, a certain amount of money in the bank, a certain amount of money in your retirement fund. and if I were to ask you why that is, and tell me more about that goal, why is that important to you? If you were to tell me, well, it's so I can finally feel secure, so I can finally feel valuable, so I can finally feel worthy. Not good, right? Not good. Like, that's not the best way. That's not an effective, efficient, productive way to go about the achievement of that goal. Quite the opposite. So here's the thing, and this is actually going to be two things as I look at my notes here. So here's the two things. Number one, and both of these might blow your mind because they blew my mind. Number one, guess what? You get to feel that way now. You get to feel that way now. So that feeling that you're after, so if you're after finally feeling healthy or finally feeling worthy, guess what? You get to feel that way now. Like, you have permission, full-blown permission to feel that way right now, well in advance of ever seeing the result of the goal, right? And you may be like, what? What are you talking about? No, I need to have the goal in order for me to feel that way. No, you don't. Guess what? You can feel it right now. You get to feel that way right now is number one. Number two thing, when I said here's the thing, and actually here are two things. Number two is you must feel that way in order to achieve the goal. So you're never going to get there, and you're never going to get there in an effective way if you don't feel that way ahead of time. And that might be another one where you're like, what? What are you talking about, dude? Because when I first learned this, that was my response. I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay, so let's start with the health goal. Let's start with the health goal, and let's ask a couple questions. All right, so let's ask a question. Someone who, from their perspective, is unhealthy, or they feel like they could have much better health. Again, maybe it's a health goal of they want to be able to run a 10K and they want to weigh a certain weight. Maybe that weight is, let's make it up, 30 pounds less than what they weigh now. So that's their goal. And so there they are today. That's their current state. And so the question is, do they get to feel healthy today? Do they have permission to feel healthy right now? And I would hope you, as an outsider, you looking at that person, and you may know someone like that. And my hope is that you would say, well, yeah, duh, they'd absolutely get to feel healthy right now. But meanwhile, that person may not be feeling healthy at all. They may not feel like they have any permission at all to feel healthy, because they're probably sitting there going, what are you talking about? Look at me. Like, do you know how this feels in my body? Can you see my body? What if I told you what I weigh? There's no way I feel healthy. But you know what? They absolutely get to feel healthy, because I would bet you if we looked, there's all kinds of things, all kinds of evidence that we could find which would demonstrate health. So sure, they may be making some choices that are not as healthy as they could be, but I bet you they're making a lot of healthy choices, actually. I bet you there's a whole lot of things they aren't doing that would be considered to be way more unhealthy, but they're just not looking for those, right? They're not considering those. They're not considering that they could be way, way more unhealthy, that they've actually chose to not go any further in their weight. You know, they want to weigh 30 pounds less, not 130 pounds less. They are a healthy person. There's all kinds of healthy evidence that we can look at. And they get to feel healthy because they're making a choice to become even more healthy. So that's a healthy choice. Isn't that fascinating, right? So that alone is healthy. What a healthy way to think, that someone would say, yeah, I want to get better. I want to improve my health. I want to be on this path that would get me to the point where I could run a 10K, where I would weigh 30 pounds less than I do. Well, you know what we would say to that? Bravo, kudos. What a healthy choice. What a healthy way to think. That's fantastic. I really can't imagine a more healthy way of thinking for you to have than to think that. Isn't that amazing? And so that person's probably like, yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, I can see that that's healthy, and I can see that I'm actually making all kinds of healthy choices. Do you see how this works? Do you see how this goes? And then the other question we can ask is, if they don't feel healthy now, and actually if they feel unhealthy, are they ever going to get there? Like someone who feels about themselves, if they feel unhealthy about themselves, if that's like the predominant overarching feeling about themselves, if you were to ask them, how do you feel about yourself? And if their first response is, you know what, the way I feel about myself is unhealthy. I'm an unhealthy person. I feel unhealthy. Are they ever going to get there? Are they ever going to get to that goal where they're running a 10K and weighing 30 pounds less than they do? No way. I mean, their actions coming from a place of feeling unhealthy are not going to be anything like something productive and efficient and a really great way to go about achieving that goal. Actually, quite the opposite. It's going to come from this really negative place. All right. It's going to come from almost like this place of punishment, right? Almost like this place of lack, LACK, lack. And this beating themselves up, like, look at you, you're so unhealthy. I can't believe that. You got to get yourself in shape. What are you doing? How have you let yourself become this way, right? It's like really crappy to think about, but that's how we talk to ourselves often when it comes to this. So if you're coming from this place of feeling super unhealthy about yourself, you're not going to get there, and it won't be sustained. That's the thing. There may be some short-term motivation, like a short-term jolt, a short-term of, all right, I'll get my butt off the couch and I'm going to get out and I'm going to start exercising, but it won't be sustained because it's coming from this really negative lack kind of place. Whereas that same person who now views themselves as someone who makes healthy choices, who's on a path to become really healthy, who's on a trajectory to model really healthy behavior, can you see that is super sustainable? Okay, now let's go to really make these points. Now let's go over to the financial goal. And I'm going to talk about me personally when we talk about financial goals. And the way I used to set financial goals is it used to be a struggle. It used to be from a place of, so I can finally feel. That was the overarching thought. When I would set a financial goal, I would say, okay, this is the goal I want to hit. This is the amount of income that I want to produce so I can finally feel worthy, so I can finally feel valuable. And believe me, I have had great financial success in my life, things I'm really, really proud of, great accomplishments that I've made. And what I'll tell you is that it's just been like a grind up until now, up until what I'm about to tell you. It's been a grind. It's been just a struggle. And it's been under the potential, I feel like, that I've had, because it's been coming from this place of trying to get to finally feeling. And it's just been me saying to myself, you know what? I'm not going to feel 100% valuable. I'm not going to feel 100% worthy about myself until I see that dollar amount at the end of the year when I do my taxes and when I see my income added up. I'm just not going to feel 100% about myself until I get to that level. And that's crappy, right? That's a crappy place to be. I'm guessing some of you have been there too. Maybe you're there right now. Whether it's a health goal, financial goal, we could tie a relationship goal to this. It's something about your business, where you're saying, I'm not going to feel that way until I finally get the result. When I get the result, I'm finally going to feel that way. So again, coming from that place of not feeling that way and not believing I could feel that way until I finally achieve the result, it just felt like a grind. It felt like a struggle. It feels like an ox, like if you can imagine like the scene, there's an ox that's pulling a plow, like old school farming, right? Like imagine that picture in your head, like an ox trying to struggle, dragging that plow through the field. And there's the farmer, cajoling, using a whip to push that ox along. That's what it felt like, right? Just a grind, a struggle, trying to get there. Again, having some results I'm really proud of, but never feeling like it's enough, never feeling like It was really fun, never feeling like it was as much as it could be, just felt like under potential. So then, just a few months ago, I learned that, number one, guess what? I get to feel worthy and valuable now, 100%. I get to feel 100% about myself now. And guess what? I need to feel that way in order to go achieve the goal. And especially that first one absolutely blew my mind, right? When I learned, when I got the lesson that, you know what, I can feel 100% valuable, I can feel 100% worthy about myself today before the result, I was like, what are you talking about? like get out of here. That it felt so foreign to me. But you know what? I bought in. All right. I bought into it. I went all in with that thinking. I was like, okay, all right, I'm going to give this a shot. And you know what? It's true, right? And it didn't really take that much. It was like, damn right. Like, damn right, I can feel that way about me now. Like, of course, like, are you kidding me? Like, look at what I've done, look at what I produce, look at the impact I have. Heck yeah, that I have value and worth at 100%. Heck yeah. And so got that feeling instantly going at 100%. And it's that feeling that has caused my income to skyrocket. Right. And so once I got that going, it's like, watch out. And so what I'll tell you, if you look at my coaching business, my coaching training that I'm doing, my income from that is up compared to 2 years ago. It's up over 3,000%. Right. And it's all related to this, like just instilling this in me now. Like I'm no longer waiting for the result to get the feeling. So here's the thing. I want you to watch out for that word finally. All right. I want you to watch out for you saying to yourself, I want to get this result so I can finally feel a certain way. And just go ahead and feel it now. Like, go ahead, feel it now, have it now. You can have it at 100% level now. And guess what? That's going to get you the result way faster and way easier than you would otherwise. All right, guys, that is what I got for you in episode number 57. Of course, if you want to get more of this, more hands-on, more training, more coaching, like daily lessons that keeps you on the path, you want to check out Alpha State. Go to alphastateclass.com. That's where you can get signed up and join our membership program that will get you incredible results. It's alphastateclass.com. In the meantime, thank you for engaging with this podcast and enjoy life on the leading edge. We'll see you next time.